Hi, this is Christine. It is Monday, November 2nd, 2015. It's in the morning, morning, early afternoon, and I had a dream last night. I was at some type of airport complex. It was big, and there were planes parked all around the building outside, like at a large airport. And there was a big corridor, but it was quiet, like around late evening when the airport didn't have much traffic traveling through it. The only people in the airport seemed to be people waiting for a red-eye flight or an early morning flight, so they were spending the night at the airport waiting for their early morning plane the next day. I was by myself at the airport and was walking around the hallway. There was a young couple with an infant baby who was maybe 1 year old or less. I got the feeling that they were married, that they were an item. I got the feeling that they were not married, but that they were an item, a couple, and together they were a family. The mother was sitting in one of the chairs in the boarding area for the plane they were waiting for, and the father was up and walking around in the boarding area. I could tell the mother's heart was heavy. She got up and went to get a drink of water from the water fountain, and as I was also in the hallway, we started talking, and she started telling me about her child. She felt the child was sick, but didn't know why or for what reason. At first she felt it was like some type of curse, and she was afraid her child would not make it. I could see her heaviness and also her confusion at it all. It probably wasn't that big of a problem, but she was seeing it as if it was a big problem and the end of the world for her and her child. She showed me the child's feet and how there was a large gap between the great toe or the big toe of the child and the second toe, which was a long toe. She wondered why there was this huge gap between those two toes, and why the child's feet were not normal like other children's feet, where the toes are next to each other. I looked at the child's toes as the mother allowed me to do so when she removed his blanket that he was swaddled in from off of his feet so I could see them. I told her that sometimes huge gaps like this can come from Down syndrome or a form of it somewhere back in the family lineage. And we all know that Down syndrome is not a death sentence. There are children who grow up with Down syndrome and live to adulthood or longer, so this would not be a death sentence for the child like she thought it might be. However, when we looked at the child's face, the child did not look like a Down syndrome baby, so the genetics may have been in the child, but physically it was not visible. I also told her that this baby would be a blessing to her. I told her that the great toe or the big toe is just a person's thinking. It is their life purpose and their path that they walk in the world. The second toe is the communication or emotional toe, so the fact that her child had a large gap or hole in between these two toes just meant that they would not be a person to make quick or rash decisions. Their thinking toe or great toe would get information coming in, meaning someone might ask them a question, but because there was a large gap between that toe and their second toe, which is their communication and emotional toe, that they would think about the information given to them and would answer later after careful thought, and that they would not be a person to make rash decisions. The mother felt better actually after hearing this. The larger the gap or hole or space between these two toes, the more time the person will need to think things through before giving their answer back to someone. I told the mother that their child would be blessed and would be a blessing to them, that there was nothing wrong with the child, and that they would just be a thinker and someone who would weigh out their words and responses before giving decisions. I could tell the mother felt better after having talked to me, because she now knew what the gap meant, and that there really wasn't anything wrong with her child that she needed to be fearful of. She and I left the area we were standing in and talking in, and the mother went back to the father in the boarding area, while I stayed off to the side in my own area, and the four of us parted ways, so to speak, the three of them going one way and me going off in my own direction. Later the father approached me with 2 questions about the child, which I answered those questions for him as well. The mother may have approached me again later also, but we did not talk again as in depth as we did at the beginning of my dream earlier. And then I woke up. I don't know why I had this dream, except that maybe there was someone out there who was also concerned about a child they have who might have a birth defect. Know that their child is actually blessed, even though physically they might not think it so, just as this mother did not realize it either when looking physically at her child. But do not let the physical disability sway you from realizing the true blessing that this child carries. I do not know if this is why I had the dream, but that's what came to me, so I thought I would share. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. I hope you're all well, and I will talk to you in the next video, whenever that is. Bye-bye.